I'm not sure what this is. I mean, I know what it is. It's steel, but I'm not sure what kind of steel it is. But it's a chunk that somewhere in there is the movable jaw for the vise. So we're gonna get started. It's 4 by, I think that's 2 by whatever. So we need 4 by 2 by 3 to make the movable jaw there. So we're gonna get started with that. Got the chunk of steel we're starting with for the moving jaw on the Atlas Shaper vise, and this backside here is just saw cut, and we're gonna square this or make this side as parallel as we can to that backside, and then we'll flip it, and then we'll start squaring this up, getting it ready for profiling. Point, the backside is been cleaned up parallel to this side. Now I flipped it back over and measured it. It's 2-inch 985. I'm going to go to 2-inch 950 right now, so I'm going to take 35 off here right now. Got a carriage style set. A little over 35. Lock the carriage up. So right now what I'm trying to sort out is what is the relationship between this surface on the bottom of the moving jaw that runs on the base of the vise to the center line of the lead screw. So I just got the height gauge set up here. I'm just going to check. It's on a couple of 1, 2, 3 blocks, and I just want to check from this 2-inch height. What is the difference from that to the 1/2-inch lead screw there, so we can make sure I got that center line distance sorted out before we start roughing. So what I've figured out is these 1, 2, 3 blocks aren't actually they're not actually 2. They're 1-inch 9/67. So that's a new find for me. Just pulled those out of I bought those with some used tools I bought, so they're slightly undersized. But anyways, doesn't really matter for this exercise. So with the 1-inch 9/67 here, this screw has a bit of play in it, so I just kind of try to take an average of that. I took a low reading and a high reading, and what it ended up with, if you add the 1/4 inch to get down to the center line of where that hole has to be, we're 1-inch 9/27 plus the 250. We will be 2-inch 1/77 from this plane here to the center line of where the hole has to go in for the lead screw. So with that measurement now taken, we can start roughing the piece down to its finished thickness from this top. We've got this will be the top brown, so I only had to take about 4 or 5 thou off that just to clean that all up. And kind of having a change of heart about grinding everything. I think my next step, I'm going to grind the front square 90 degrees to the top, and then I think I'm probably best to put this bore for the lead screw all the way through the whole thing, just so because there's like a half round here, and I don't want to have to be machining a half round, so I'm going to bore a hole all the way through. I think before I do anything too much on all the other sides, I'm just going to use this side. I haven't decided on a facing plate or in the forejaw at this point, but I'm just going to square up that one side. Right now what I'm doing, I've got this face up against the jaw of the machiner's vise, and now we're going to grind this square to that. Decided while I got the grinder up and running, I might as well square up everything except for the bottom where I need to do a bunch of machining. So I've got that last surface now, the good side down, good side up against the fixed side of the vise, And working on this backside now. So back on the moving jaw for the Atlas Shaper vise. This is going to be the top surface. The original has some profile, you know, some not sure what I would call it. Not art, but some design features, I guess, where this is relieved. I'm not sure I'm going to do that. I might consider leaving this kind of like the top of a mill vise, where this is a flat surface that can be used for, you know, just used as a flat surface, I guess. So we've got the top, we've got the sides. This is going to be the front where the jaw will be, and then this is going to be the back, where I need to bore a hole in here for the lead screw, so that's why I've got that Dykem on there. And just going to lay out the center, and then not 100% sure how I'm going to put that in the, I don't have a mill running, I'm working on a mill still, but I think I can put that in the faceplate, or on the faceplate and lathe, and get a couple of clamps on there and just bore through. So on this bottom, that hole, I'm going to put it all the way through, because what happens is this ends up being the only part of the bottom that has the bore through it. This portion here will just be a half, maybe a half a hole down here somewhere, and then this is all relieved out here like this, and then same thing out here. Getting there. So what I'm doing at this point is I've got the block squared up. This is the moving jaw, and I'm going to mark the center line between the two sides. I'll mark it from both sides just in case there's any kind of error, but overall it's 3.890, so half of that is 1.945. and then this is the bottom that needs some rough work yet. So off of this finished surface here down to the center line of the screw is 1 inch 140, and I'm going to leave another 5 thou just in case I want to do any cleanup on this after the part is on the actual vise. So got the height gauge set up here. Should be somewhere around there. Mark that, flip it over. It looks pretty good. That didn't give me any kind of gap or anything in there, so that's a good sign. I'll clean that top off. We'll readjust the height gauge now. You gotta go to 1 inch 140. 1 inch 145, so it should be somewhere close to that. So we'll adjust that 45. So we've got the moving jaw. I put it on a faceplate here. May not be the most ideal, but I had this block in the forejaw and I couldn't get this face to run true. So I verified that this block is parallel on a surface plate, and it is. So it was something going on with the forejaw, the way I had it chucked up. So the faceplate is nice and flat, and when I sweep this now, I got nothing there, 0, 0. So, and we've got it centered up. I'm going to punch a hole through there now. I made it through, so now I just step it up and keep opening it up. It's opened up to drill is 21-30 seconds, and I'm shooting for somewhere around 700 diameters. So I got to figure out if I'm going to bore that now, or I want a nice straight hole through there for the lead screw. Now we're going to bore this up to 700. So you got to just a boring bar in there, and I got it in an extension to make sure I can get to the bottom without running into the clamps or stuff here. Of course, I got the wrong one. That's better. Shoot for 700. Should be probably about 690. Based on what we've done so far. Right on the money, 690. We're going to take 10 out. Go one pass. I struggled quite a bit to get a straight bore through this, and I don't know why. So I finally got it down. I got about 1 thou taper over, I don't know, about 1.5 inches there now. So I can get the brass nut in there. I should have no problem getting it in there. So anyways, faceplate came off the lathe, and now I'm just going to strip that down. And there's no real need for a nominal dimension or anything. It's just a hole to put the brass nut in, and then I think there's a pin that goes through, an anti-rotate pin we have to make. So